Hey everybody, let's get everybody going here. Let me get our people over to here. I'm going to go post this link for this class on the website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com. We had a concert last night and we had a huge number of people show up for that, and it is so exciting. And so we're going to kind of debrief last night's concert, talk about what went well, what could have gone better, what things people were delighted about, which things were people demoralized about. Okay, and then we're going to play some. We're going to start the process of picking out the songs people are going to hang on to and the songs they're going to eject. And so we'll start that discussion. And then what else are we doing? Oh, let's see, HTTPS colon. I'm tweeting right now, jollyrogerukulele.com. And then my face pops up. My face has started popping up again. And then I'm going to put on, not that one, I'm going to put on Kick Your Fanny Friday, tweet, cancel, open, and then tweet. All right, so there's that. And that will get people being sad they didn't make it. That's the last day I can use that as a picture. And let's see, we'll get everybody loaded in here, and then we're going to debrief. Make sure we know what happened last night. Make sure what we can do to make the next time better, and make sure we talk about how people felt about Zoom versus YouTube. Talk about which song is going to become your next solo. Here comes Donna. Hello, Donna. No, I can answer any questions. We're just loading everybody in. We're good. Okay. She says we're good. I want to tell a story about my wife. She got a new phone, and we had to get the case for it. It took us 3 times to get the right one, but we finally got it, and we're very excited. It came in today. It's clear, so it shows how pretty the phone is. It's all very exciting. You can't just order an iPhone case anymore. There's all this list of weird stuff that you are supposed to do, and it got super complicated. Right now, Jeff Bezos is probably he's on my call. I'm on his call list. Going, I got to call that guy Endeavor. He's having a hard time ordering. I got to straighten him out. Um, yeah. So what time is it? 3 minutes. We'll start in a couple minutes. Let's say hello to everybody who's coming in. Ronnie is in from New Mexico. Aloha. How's the weather down there? We've agreed when you log in, you got to say where you're from and what the weather's like. And Ronnie has violated principle number 1. She says aloha from New Mexico. That's very beautiful. And she's supposed to say period. It's exactly the same as it is every single day in New Mexico. It's lovely. Or something. Let's see. Cindy also violates rules. Cindy doesn't follow rules. She says hola. So far we've got an aloha and an hola. We are a very multicultural group around here. As long as we don't have Zoom, you would think that we are very multicultural. Laurel is in snowflaking in Northwest Littleton. That's northwest Littleton. It's kind of there, right over there. Yeah, I'm downtown Denver. It's snowing and cold out there. Carol, who's from the mountains, says, sounds good. Great job on the concert last night. I loved it. Jim Moose and Kenny were great too. Yeah, it was kind of fun to have a couple of other musicians doing other things, and that was super fun to listen to. Vic finally made it in. She's been ignoring me all day today. She's normally in every one of my classes. I haven't seen her yet today. She's apparently had other things that are more important than making music with Gary to do today. It was fun to see people's faces last night. That's what Cindy says. Yeah, and so many of you I've never seen before. And so it was really delightful to see your faces and do that. Barb says, great job last night. I hope you guys were happy with how you all played. Evelyn says, sound is good. I've seen Evelyn already today. She's in Ecuador, and so good to see you, Evelyn. Sandy, afternoon. Sandy was in earlier. The weather in Michigan, and most everybody's got snow and cold weather in North America today. So, Jennifer, 6 to 8 inches of snow in Chicago. It's pretty legit in Chicago. So that's basically normal in Chicago. We're getting a tiny bit of a flurry. I think maybe we have an inch or something. Linda enjoyed the concert last night. You did a great job, Gary. Oh, thank you, Linda. It's less about how I did and about how you guys did, right? Lynn says, I'm back. New Jersey, the weather is blech. The weather is blech in New Jersey, right? Don't believe the media. New Jersey is normally a lovely place to be. Vic says it's raining in Eugene, which it's supposed to be. So good to see you, Vic. Nice to actually see your face last night as well. Ronnie, sorry, had to have an inch of snow. Oh, so they actually having snow in New Mexico. All right. I lived in New Mexico for 8 years, I think, and snowed about twice, maybe 3 times. Red is in. Greetings, Red. She's drifting. There must be some wind out there, right? Linda says it was fun last night. Linda doesn't tell us what the weather is in Maui anymore because we know what the weather is in Maui. Patty's in from Littleton. She had fun yesterday. Good. Diane, still snowing and cold in West Littleton. Yeah, Amy's in. Hey, Amy. Brandon's in Northern California. Cold here. No snow, of course. Yeah, it's he's in the Bay Area, right, Brandon? And I don't think it snows there very often. Elizabeth in, it's 25 and snowing up in northern Colorado. Marianne in from Illinois, or Michigan, sorry, Michigan. Fresh snow up there. Janice in from Australia, you guys. Good day. Don't do that, Janice. We have it in our heads in North America that that's what you say all of the time, right? That there's only one way to speak Australian. That's all we know, right? Good day. And kangaroo. I think that's the complete. Oh, and then there's the Sydney Opera House. We know that. That might be the entire list of things we know about Australia. We had a stinking hot day today, but a cool change has come through today. It's summertime in Australia, so they're not having any snow. Chris, good afternoon. She's a local. Cindy, the Vikings are in full regalia. The snow in the Colfax. See, that's the good part about living north of Colfax. You're a Viking, and so you already are ready for this. Missed all but the last few minutes of the last lesson. Running around trying to get old folks in the family vaccine. I know, right? Thank you for those of you guys that are either dealing with others that are trying to get them vaccinated. I know this is obviously a challenging time for everybody. Like on the phone, you got the vaccine. I got this person. They're old and they need it now. I got pre-existing conditions. You got the vaccine. I know it's tough. Pauline says 52 degrees and rain in Northern California. That's wrong, right? That's got to be a typo. Jacqueline, truly enjoyed the concert last night. So nice to see faces. And first vaccine is coming Saturday for Patty. So good. So I thought we'd start with just a little debrief on the concert. So put your ukuleles to the side, put your fingers on the keyboard. What went well for you? What did not go so well for you? When we are doing a concert, some of you have done lots of concerts and you know the drill and it's no big deal. Others of you might have been your first time performing. I'll tell you, my wife's thing was her best thing. She says, everybody looked nice. I'm like, I know it's weird. They all tried. So I thought that was a nice thing that she said. And the thing she said that made her laugh the most was everybody logging into Zoom and trying to figure it out and over talking over one another and the sort of chaos that comes along with Zoom. She had a great time listening to that. So give me some idea of what you thought went well and what some of the things you thought could have gone better, how things sounded at your house. Your house is where the concert happened. I can tell you here, it was me playing ukulele. Sometimes pretty well, sometimes pretty horrible. And so I want to know what did the concert sound like? What did you enjoy about it? Some of you had family members join and listen in. What did they have to tell you? What would you change? What would you leave the same? That kind of stuff. Linda said, I was happy when I ended on the same note as you on the it's only 78 today in Maui. Sorry, Linda. Sorry, it's kind of it's a sweater morning for you. Happy when you end on the same note as me, right? That in and of itself, I mean, we're doing a complex thing, right? You are playing a duet and we have no ability to look each other in the eye at the same time. And so being able to play simultaneously is really, really challenging. And so good for you for being able to do it at all. I think it's what we're doing here is not ideal, right? But it's the best we can do, and we'll continue to explore all of the possible options for that. Cara said she had fun. Amy is glad Bob had clothes on. Bob was going to come naked to that. Yeah, Bob, you can never tell what he's going to do. Ronnie says being muted was good. I think that I don't know how to take that. Vic said it was hard to concentrate. I did okay on some, but got lost at times. I got lost at times too, as you guys heard and saw. I would not necessarily say that's. Even if we were in the same room, it's I played lots of duets where in the middle I'm like, I don't know where the heck we are. Yeah, so it's probably fairly normal. Cindy said, like seeing faces, meeting Toby and playing along, trying. I think we had too many songs, but the selections were good. Yeah, I debated whether to drop Moon River or not at the end, but he gave us an hour. We took an hour, and you notice they didn't have a ton of stuff happen after that. Most of you guys logged out before the end, but he had a little bit going on with his own guys. We got a chance to hear what was one guitar player pretty impressive. Got a chance to hear one of our ukulele players sing a song, just a little bit of different vibe afterwards. I think Toby was just fine with us having a pretty long repertoire, and I do think I agree with Cindy. I think the song choices kind of gave us a chance to present the ukulele in different ways. Maybe a little bit too much, but not too bad, I don't think. But I appreciate that thought, Cindy. Sandy, it was first concert. I love seeing everyone and didn't do too bad. That's right. First concert. Holy Moses! When we get new members at our local orchestra here, the first concert, you're just trying to keep them. Just trying to have them not quit, right? That in and of itself is a success. So that's good. Chris said, my son said we sounded good. He was in the kitchen listening as we were cooking dinner, right? That's exciting, right? So there's somebody who is actually hearing mom play with me as her duet partner. It sounded good, right? Actual playing along, let's see, Carol says, actual playing along was fine. I would have preferred seeing you play versus the sheet music, but I know I totally wanted to do that for them. I know, I didn't ask him to do that. He just made that decision. That's okay, right? You guys see me play every day. It was a way to do it, and I thought it was fine. Kat says it was so fun. Love seeing everybody. Gary did an awesome job. I was proud to be there. Yeah. I mean, that was, I think, at the end of the day, the coolest part, at least for us, is that what that person looks like? I always wondered. I get emails from you guys, and of course, you have this vision in your head of what they look like, and so super fun. A couple of younger people, lots of us older people, just a really nice evening of different faces, and so that was kind of fun. Start with something more exciting from the audience standpoint. Okay, so what did we start with? Bach Minuet. Guess not exciting enough for you, Diane? Yeah, we could probably start with We Will Rock You from now on. Let's see. Red says, I thought you should have been full screen. Toby did a great job scrolling, but was curious if anyone actually played with us. So many music. Yeah, I agree. I do know, generally speaking, guitarists are not quite as adventurous as ukulele players, and the chances of them pulling out a guitar and playing along with chords was probably pretty small. But they did have the opportunity, and it doesn't, I mean, honestly, I'm nothing to look at, and so I thought it was fine. It was a little, I didn't instruct him to do that, but it was fine that he did it. Bach was the hardest for me, mostly because I had trouble with the 5 sheets of music. Yeah, learning and Kari's a high level player, right? But still, that business of turning paper, it's just one of those challenges, one of those things we have to learn. And yeah, so thanks for that thought, Kari. We don't, it's just one of the things that we play complicated music, and it doesn't fit on 2 pages often, and so you have to be in the process of figuring out how am I going to survive these page turns. It's definitely a harder challenge, and as you guys go into your own communities and start building your own orchestras and doing this, it's never going to change, this business of, right? I bought this goofy thing with an electronic foot pedal to help, it's a mixed blessing, right? And so consider it. Mary and I enjoy playing a trio with you, and our neighbor said it sounded pretty good. All right. So I did see Janice and Mary hanging out there in Australia, doing the deal. That was super exciting to see both of you guys there in the video. Elizabeth said, I took on accompanying you, sometimes tough acts, chords, sometimes melodies, dynamic contrast. We were good. Missed a chord and guitar weeps. I had to go early. All right. So yeah, Elizabeth, who's another trained professional musician, was trying different things, trying to come up with new ways to make it sound great at her house. That was awesome. Could you tab out my backpack? My backpack. He and I have had exchanged emails a couple of times. He does come to the guitar. He teaches elementary school kids, and super funny guy. I'd never met him or seen him face to face, but yeah, he teaches elementary school music. So the backpack song, what the heck? Why not? Sang a lot. Oh, but Laura was singing with some of the songs. That's fun. Jennifer said, I like that we played together and that you were the leader. It was nice to see all of you. I wondered if we could have had one selection that could have been a sing-along for the guitars. Oh, yeah. I never think about it because there's no way I'm singing, right? And so I'll have to think about that going forward. Lots of you guys are good singers. I know that. And I always tell myself, they got Cynthia Lynn. Then go listen to her and sing along if they want. But I should probably do a little bit more of that with you guys. Enjoyed seeing everyone. It looks just like our local youth group. Felt warm and welcome. Yeah, all youth groups end up looking kind of the same. Diversity is still one of our major issues, which is weird because it's an instrument that anybody can play and super fun, and kids love it, and everybody loves the ukulele when they're messing around with it. So why is it that all youth groups look the same? I haven't quite figured that one out. How can we get financials so we can get the expensive equipment that allows musicians to play together? I'm going to look into it, Cindy. I don't believe it exists for what we do. I'm going to, one of the guys last night gave me some suggestions of some software to look at. The only way to really do that is with an audio engineer, and it's all done post-processing, and then you end up with a video. It's all very static and very unfun, and I don't think it's going to ever happen. I'll be honest with you, Cindy. I like the support from Toby and his willingness to share ukulele information. Plus, he wants to get together with the ukulele group for a live concert. Yeah. The original plan was to bring up the entire orchestra last November to do a benefit concert, and obviously that couldn't happen. And so he and I agreed we would just have me play in January and talk about ukulele. And then I started thinking, well, why? Well, who cares what I have to say? Let's bring everybody in. I will mention, I was worried about the limit of having 100 people in Zoom, and so we talked about it. And he goes, well, the largest concert we've had 60 people, and it was this world famous classical guitarist, and they had 60 people, and I think we had pretty close to 80 last night, so we win. Let's see, everyone needs a Manhasset music stand. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point. The Manhasset stands, those are expensive, but that helps, I think. Jacqueline, I agree with you. You should have been full screen instead of having sheet music. Scrolling music was a little distracting. I did pretty well. I was busy looking at my sheet music. I kept looking. I'm like, oh, is that what he's going to do? And of course, you don't like that when things happen in a concert. You don't know what's going on. Hey, Vicky, welcome in. Jennifer, who wrote my back? What's his name? Drawing a blank at the moment. It'll come to me. One of you guys remember. Linda says the Vancouver youth group has some younger players who are really good during open mic, but then they leave after a few months. Yeah, we have found that not necessarily exactly the same thing. We have I have lots of young people, both in my private studio and in my city classes that I teach, and the problem with this style of music is it takes work. It's very hard. It takes some energy. So it's very hard for working people to do because they run out of time, right? They got kids and they got a job and all this stuff. So it's pretty challenging for working people. Now, what we have found, I have young students who are just really committed to the instrument, and they come around. We've had lots of teenagers, had a few that have actually graduated, written letters of recommendation for them and stuff. So we get a little bit of that. We get a few 20-year-olds, not very many, because obviously they're starting their careers. It's hard to do this. So the one thing that I think the reason why a lot of ukulele groups end up looking the same is that we have the time to spend on this. The other thing I do know is a bit of a problem is if you look at our playlists in ukulele groups across the world, usually the newest music that is being done was written in 1970, right? And so these are songs that we know, but the young people they don't know who the Beatles are. They've never heard necessarily of they don't even know who Bruce Springsteen is, right? And so they don't know the music that gets played in a lot of these things. And so that's my general sense of why people in these ukulele groups all have the same look, because we're playing music from the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. And of course, you guys come to me and I'm playing music from 1870s and 1880s, and so the music that we play in these groups has a tendency not to be particularly grab on to music for young people. And part of the reason is, and I have actively looked for new music that's coming out, that it has to have a melody, and that eliminates about 99% of all of the tunes out there. And so, yeah, I think that's probably why we have a tendency to look the way ukulele groups look. Diane says, at one point there were was there 83 signed in? Oh, that's amazing. Yay. All right. We almost broke the limit. Also, the music is our music. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, right. When we talk about the radio, those kids these days have no idea what we're talking about. I saw on Twitter just a minute ago, they had kindergartners. A parent was talking about his kindergartner listening to today's lesson, and today's lesson was called The Rotary Telephone. And the teacher was having to convince these kindergartners that was a real thing, that he's not making it up. So that tells you, right, the world that is in our head versus the one we live in is different, right? And so it's not that what we do is bad music. It's that it's a great music, but it's just not necessarily what younger people know. And Sandy points out, not unimportantly, right now on TikTok, sea shanties are the big thing. So we could do sea shanties. Heck yeah. I have written plenty of those. Let's see. I didn't know the Wellerman sea shanty yet. Would love to do sea shanties on the ukulele. Yeah, we have written a few of them. They're always fun. They're the same. They're 2-chord songs, whatever it is. All right. So a couple of thoughts on my end. Number one, delightful to see all of your faces. Number two, hopefully you're really proud of what happened at your house, right? That's whether I play well or not doesn't really, at the end of the day, this isn't, I try really hard to make sure, this is about you. I know how to play ukulele good enough. I know how to write ukulele music really well. And I want you to be able to do whatever music is meaningful to you. And so hopefully last night was meaningful. The other thing I thought, I made mistakes exactly in the places where I thought I was going to make mistakes, and with one exception. There's this one moment in the Bach Minuet. There's two measures I cannot get them to stick in my head. It's where we go to that E minor shape on 5, and my head will not get that to stay in there. Every time it comes up, it's like, oh crap, there it is, right? And then on the sonatina, that section with the B flat just eats me up every time. I think I blew it every single time. So so that happens. The last thing I'd mention is when you go through a concert, you've got to be a little careful. Lots of you guys will be doing real ukulele out in your neighborhoods going forward, and you're going to be getting together with other people and trying duets and this type of stuff, hopefully. And you got to be mindful of where you get your advice from. And one of the things that happens when we do our big concert every year is I will have unqualified people telling me what I should think about the concert that we just gave. And so there will be no end of people who are willing to share their opinion with me. They don't play music. They don't own a ukulele. They haven't been in an orchestra. They haven't done the work, and they're more than happy to share their opinion with me. And there's a young lady that I follow on Twitter who's a heck of a piano player, and she's also super involved in all this modern stuff that I don't understand. But she talks about get every day, I get people telling me what I should do, and I don't need their opinion, right? I don't need that. When they tell me that they are playing piano on the internet every single day, then I might have some interest in listening to them. But until people have gone through what you've gone through, you take what they say with a grain of salt. Most people are going to say that sounded great, even though they're like, I kind of wanted to die when I was listening to you. That's what people will do. But if they're ready to offer you constructive criticism, uh, now the two people that I do know that I'm interested in their opinion tend to be professional musicians or music teachers. I really want to know what they think, and they have a tendency to be a little bit more reserved about what they share because they are going through it and they know. They know. I'm looking at Jennifer over here. She's a music teacher. She knows what it takes to do something like this. And, so I would listen to her a lot, right? So, because she's doing the work. And so just be mindful when somebody's giving you advice on how you're playing, you maybe or maybe don't really need that opinion, especially if it's a negative one or one meant to be constructive. Wipe it out. I will tell you my favorite story, and then we'll play some music. My very favorite thing that we've ever done on our local orchestra was a Sound of Music medley. We played every single song in Sound of Music except Maria. And we played 18-minute long song, 18 minutes. Okay. Now, if you know Sound of Music, you were fine. You were just having a delightful time listening to one song after another. But if you did not know Sound of Music, it was 18 minutes of noise. 18 minutes that you had to sit there and listen to plinkety, 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 plink. Now, for people who know Sound of Music, it was dink, blink, plink, blink, 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 right? And you're like, oh yeah, I like that music. But if you don't know it, it's blink, 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 and you don't know, and you're like, when is this song going to be over? 18 minutes. Now, the mistake I made was we opened a concert with that because it was the biggest piece we've ever done, far and away. We loved working on it. It actually, my final arrangement of it was very playable, absolutely a delight, every minute of it. The orchestra loved it. I loved it. We were so excited to present it. And we opened the concert with it. That was the mistake. It should have opened with something that was 2.5 minutes long and then sit down and then explain, hey, this is about to happen to you. But we got a hate mail, email like, this was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I can't believe the blah, 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 blah. And so there was this thing that one member, at least, of our audience, who probably spoke for more than just herself, really did not have a good time with that. Meanwhile, the orchestra is the greatest thing in the world. And so who do I listen to, right? We did what we thought was the right thing at that time. It was awesome. Loved it. Sorry that lady didn't have a very good time. Really sorry that she didn't have enough restraint not to press send on her hate mail. But until you get a piece of hate mail, I don't know if you've really made it. So again, just be mindful. Do what you think is the right thing with music, and then what people are going to say stuff. Don't let's do it overly much. All right, I would like to wrap it up with saying thank you and. This week, what we're going to do, we'll go through all of the pieces this week. I didn't have time to really get stuff together for the rest of the week, and my brain was really focused in on finishing this up. But I went ahead and added in our other songs that I had taken out for this week. So we've added back in the baritone versions of some of the songs we had taken out. I like to just play through these this week. Let's talk about, now that it's over and the pressure's off, what things in these pieces that you like or don't like, or what things are there things in here that don't make sense that you'd like them to make sense. I would say if it were me and I were you, I would pick one or at least one of these songs and keep it and make it part of your repertoire. Make it something that you can turn into a song that you can play. At this moment, I believe I have most of this music memorized on accident, just simply by playing it so much, right? That's how I got into trouble at that one point last night. I think it was on the sonatina. We did the repeat, and I just started playing what was in my head and not paying attention to what was on the paper. And suddenly I realized I was playing the wrong part of the song. I'm like, crud. It was either that or I don't remember. I think it was the sonatina. And it happens when you're memorized, right? You end up in the wrong part of the song. And I knew, because you guys were playing along with me, I couldn't fake it and get back into it. So we had to restart. But you put in a lot of work on these. Find the song on this list. You got 8 songs that are all good. Find ones that you're going to keep and turn into something. That would be my suggestion to you. Let me catch up on comments over here. Sandy said, we're all focused in on sea shanties here. Like learning the new songs, music theory is way theory more than performing. Now, guys, don't fall into my trap. I'm not a performer. It's not my thing. I really don't get any meaningfulness out of it. I love teaching and I love arranging and I love music theory. That's what I love. But that doesn't necessarily mean you should fall into that trap. Performing is a brilliant thing, and you can see when you meet musicians and they say music is my life, that's because performing is their life. They really, really get a kick out of that. And so there's that. Okay, get ready to listen. Yeah, it was wonderful to play. Yeah, all right. And Kari's one of those people. Man, she just is an amazing player and really, get something out of that. Yeah, helpful hints. Yeah, be thoughtful of those. Arlo, good to see you. Enjoyed my first concert on Zoom. Good to see others in the class. Pele, I can't tell you how proud I am that you got the Zoom up and running. That was exciting. Cindy says, I'm trying to convert Moon River to baritone arrangement. I think it's good for baritone folks to know how to do ensemble work, but I love the baritone solo stuff. And that you've done. Yeah, and guys, I for going forward, I'm going to be putting out a lot more of that baritone stuff as Tuff Uke. And just over the years, it's just not been important, and we've got enough baritone players now where it's more important. You can listen to the advice, but don't take any of it too seriously, right? When they're doing the work, the same work you're doing, then you can listen to them, right? I trust you guys' opinion. I want to know what your opinion is because you're doing the work. I've got Bach Minuet baritone version in front of me. That's what I'd like to play. And that means ukulele players, you are on chords. Yeah, that's the reason we do concerts. It's not because we do them so we have a deadline. You guys have figured out during COVID period that if you don't have a deadline, things kind of don't happen, right? When you retire and every day is a Thursday, you're like, what day is today, right? Because you don't have a deadline all of a sudden. It's a little, life kind of gets mushy around the edges. When you have a concert, it gives you that deadline. That's why we do them. And Kari says, it's also enough to just sit down and play 30 minutes, transform, right? That's why we have these things. 30 minutes, Tuff Uke, world's problems goes away. That's pretty good. All right, so we're going to play the Bach Minuet on here. Brief advertisement for what we're going to be doing coming forward. The rest of this week, we'll play through music, play through this. You're finding your song, right? You're finding the one that you're going to hang on to and turn into a piece that you own. Next week, what I want to do is I want to start digging through the arpeggio book in detail. And so we're going to be doing all 30 arpeggios over the next probably take us about 3 months to get through all of them. We won't do one every day. Next week, we're going to do an arpeggio every day to get you into the groove. But after that, I know we're going to do at least 1 or 2 a week going forward till we've done them all. So a few of you have played through the entire arpeggio book, but most of you haven't. And then, of course, it's February. So we're going to do some love songs. Some of them have been done before, some of them haven't. So I'm going to post all that. Importantly, I am going to make the Monday night class probably for the entire winter into spring go to jazz music. And I'm not going to do crummy jazz. We're going to be all jazz. It'll be all jazz standards. And I'm actually going to give you a couple of opportunities to talk about if you own how you play from a lead sheet. So if you have the melody line and you have the chords, how do you turn that into a piece that feels jazzy? And so right now, the current plan for Monday nights will be All of Me, As Time Goes By, Beyond the Sea, Blue Moon, Fly Me to the Moon, Girl from Ipanema, Harlem Nocturne, La Vie en Rose, Misty, Moon Glow, there you go, Cindy, Moon River, My Funny Valentine, Smile, Stella by Starlight, and Wonderful World. That's at least my initial thought on the songs we'll be working on Monday nights for a while. And those of you guys who are not sold on jazz, it'll still be cool music. But we'll talk about what would you do if you were trying to turn this into a thing. So that's what we'll be doing on Monday nights, and all that stuff will be posted in the members area. So if you're not a member, start to give that some consideration. Let's see, Thais says There's an arpeggio book. Jazz, a couple of votes for jazz is good. The idea sounds like even more fun. Jazz sounds good. I don't put Paper Moon on there. I should probably do that, right? I think of Paper Moon as Tin Pan Alley, which I think of as different than jazz. That's probably why I didn't make the list. Maybe I'll put it on there. There's an arpeggio book. I don't know if we've mentioned it. I wrote it. All right. Okay. Bach Menuett Suite on baritone. Ukulele players, you're on chords. Ignore the repeats. 1, 2, 3. Major 18. Oh, my page didn't turn. Five. Isn't that lovely? Let's play it on ukulele next. Oh my gosh. If you're a 20 something and that's not just freaking awesome to you and you'd rather listen to, I don't know who 20-year-olds listen to, that's incorrect. That's a beautiful song. All right. Bach baritone is a keeper for me. All right. So those of you who are baritone players, how many of you is that a keeper for you? Right. Okay. Let's try it on ukulele and see if it's a keeper for you. All right. It's lovely on baritone. Super fun, right? Cindy's wanting to play sea shanties, right? I'm like, no, you want to play Bach. Not Bach, Petzold. I'm living that baritone. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. And then Janice is gorgeous. Concert quality performance. Yes. All right. I love that. That's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah, it's why you'll never see me in concert. I don't really care that much, right? I'm just like, get it close, right? But professionals, they care a lot. Like, this has to be right. This has to be good. And for me, good is you guys playing. That's what my good is. All right, Bach Minuet on ukulele. Baritone players, you're on chords. This is not setting up properly on my back. What the heck is going on? All right. Oh, I forgot. I don't know if all you guys heard, but yesterday after class, put my Logi ukulele here, went and took a little nap, did some work, came back in right about an hour before the concert because I have learned that there's going to be something bad happen 1 hour before every concert, 90 minutes to 1 hour before every concert, something caves in. Always. And so I came in, I was like, all right, I'm going to just sit in the back room. Everything's going to be cool. I came around the corner and looked, and my Logi ukulele, the C string had popped. And you're like, and Donna's like, don't you have another Logi ukulele? I'm like, no, I don't have another Logi ukulele. I paid a lot of money for this Logi ukulele. I don't want another one. I want one good one. That's my ukulele collection program. We have a friend, some of us know, Debbie, who has a little bit of ukulele acquisition syndrome. So she buys all the good ukuleles. But I have one good Logi ukulele, and the string had popped, and I'm like, man, what a... let's see. All right. Janice, not me, you. No, you, Janice. You got out of bed to play. You're playing the best, right? Bach Minuet on ukulele, regular ukulele. Baritones are on chords. 1, 2, 3. Page 2. first page. All right, ukulele players, is that a keeper for you? Is that something? The thing I like about this song is you could keep parts of it, right? Every single page is its own song in some ways, right? It all works together. It's a phenomenal piece of music. Christian Petzold killed it when he was creating this piece of music, and he should be like, yeah, I'm awesome, right? But is that a keeper for you? So be thinking about, do you want, is that a song that you're going to spend some time? When I talk about a keeper, Moon River has been a keeper for me. I don't really care about Moon River that much, but that's because I've been playing for 25 years between piano and ukulele and guitar and all this and harmonica, all this stuff, right? But I own it, and there was a point probably when I was learning where I was like, I'm so sick of this stupid song. I cannot get this thing memorized. Now it's memorized. I practice it at least every week. It gets played, and it is not a song that I have any. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just a song I do, and so that was a keeper for me. So, guys, we'll pull the plug on this. What I want to do for the rest of the week, I'd like to just go through each piece. A studio tomorrow, and probably Bridge Over Troubled Water both tomorrow. We might get into While My Guitar Gently Weeps tomorrow, but be thinking about as we go through the rest of the week, what songs are really like you want that song as part of your repertoire. And then when we get to Friday, when we play through everything again for the last time, you're going to bring your A game on that one song, right? I wanted you to bring your A game on 8 songs last night. To this week, you're going to find your song, right? And you're going to bring your A game when we get to it on Friday. So just be thinking about it. You know, a couple of songs you probably hate, right? Not going to ever play that song again. Throw it out. Well, don't throw it out, but put it in the slow rotation, right? I have lots of songs that come up once in a while, but I want you to have one. I want, when I run into you out in the real world, right? Where I'm on vacation in Sydney, Australia, 10 years from now, and I'm in the line at the grocery store because we've got the hotel room with the little thing, and somebody comes up and says, are you Gary? And I say, yeah. And she says, I'm Janice. We used to play on Jolly Roger ukulele broadcast back in the 2020s, 2021s. I'll say, Janice, how exciting. Play me something on your ukulele. And she will sit down and she will play, When You're Weary, Feeling Small. Right? Is that the song we're working on? Is that how Bridge of Troubled Water goes? And she'll just play it for me. That's what I want, right? When I run into Cindy, I don't want Cindy to say, well, my teacher in Eugene said this. I don't want to, I say, play me Moon River, play me Bach, play me Beethoven, play me 5'2", play me something that I told you to play, right? So that's what would be ideal, right? Find your song that you own. All right, so that's it. Have a wonderful day, you guys. It's snowing out here in Denver, so we're not going to do anything other than try to keep the heater going. Feel confident with the chords and melody, but despair over ever doing the Tuff ukulele. Tuff ukulele, guys, is not meant for. It's not designed to be an ensemble situation. Tuff Ukulele, you're supposed to be working on that on your own until you are at the point where you can do it with me, right? So when we're playing together as a duet, don't feel pressure to play the Tuff Ukulele with me at the same time. I got a 15-year head start on you, Laurel, and some of you even more than that, right? And so I'm not, if I had to, if Kari says, hey, I want you to play this Tuff Ukulele piece with me, I would probably have a heck of a time keeping up with her, just because that's not the way Tuff Uke is meant to be played. I play Tuff Uke. You're supposed to be filling in the arrangement, so don't feel like you have to play Tuff Uke with me. And if you're doing it, congratulations and kudos. That's really, really hard to do. But we have the same system in the guitar group, and I have a few players that want to play Tuff guitar. We call it Tuff axe, and they can do it. But it's a whole level of crazy above. As when we're in duet situation here, you should be playing chords, you should be playing melody. I'll play my part, and then when you're on your own and you're not under time pressure, that's when you're working on Tuff Uke. You'll get it. You can do this, you guys. If you can do Yankee Doodle, if you can do Happy Birthday, you can also do Bach, and you can also you can do it. It's just more of the same, but slow it down. Be patient with yourself. Pick small parts to work on and do that. But yeah, playing tough acts in an ensemble situation is really not a goal. It's really not a goal. And that's a different way of playing. Okay, I do it because I'm here by myself playing to this laptop, and then you guys are adding in something else beautiful. So yeah, just be thoughtful about that, Laurel. Don't put yourself into pressure that's not necessary. Barbara, I'd like to get rid of measure 88. What's the measure I got to get rid of? It's that daggone. I just blow it every single time. Yes, there are. That's what we need. Is we need to have an editing system where certain songs that have parts that are just not really cool, we just get rid of them. Love this song on both the uke and the baritone. You bet, Paley. Thank you, Evelyn. Thanks again. Good to see you. Have a wonderful day. Patty, good to see you. Vic, thanks for everything you do. You're very welcome. Diane, thank you for the concert and the review. I think we did amazing. I think you guys were amazing. I'm delighted. I'm glad that we got 80 people. That's crazy. Carol, good to see you. Kari, thanks. See you Thursday. What are you doing tomorrow, Kari? What the heck? All right, good. We'll see you then, Kari. Kat, you're welcome, Kat. It was delightful to see your face. You see your face finally. It was exciting. Pauline, good to see you. Sandy, for me, keeper is the Sonatina. Then we got where's coming up this week, Sandy. You'll know whether you want to keep it. Annie, good to see you. Jacqueline, good to see you. Elizabeth, I rock RAWK. I started doing that years ago. I worked with a kid at Starbucks who used that word all the time. You rock, you rock, you rock. I says, is that ROCK or RAWK? And he goes, you say RAWK when you're mocking somebody. And I said, okay, well, I will forever use the RAWK. Renee, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, hopefully it brightens up this weather, right? And of course, we got Linda in Maui, and she doesn't need her weather brightened up. She's perfect. Or Nancy down in Florida. Chris, good to see you. Vicky, you're welcome. Fran, we'll see you soon. Blues, guitar, and harmonica. Hey, dude. Good to see you. Cindy, looking forward to so much good stuff. We are looking for, and Cindy, there'll be a lot of baritone coming your way. So patience, Karasapa, patience. It's coming. Lynn, good to see you. See you tomorrow. Brighten up New Jersey for us. Amy, I've already memorized 5'2", not necessarily opera. That's what happens, right? When you get ready for a concert, you accidentally end up memorizing this stuff. So awesome. Arlo, good to see you, boss. Thanks for being here. And you guys have a wonderful day. We're pulling the plug. And I will see all of you hopefully tomorrow. Take care.